cycle. Glad that you are here with me today. And of course, reminder, this is where DC politics and Wall Street economics meet Main Street. And so today we're talking about some things that just maybe interest you a little bit. As you know, that we are having tariff negotiations with our dear neighbors to the north. Of course, we're talking about Canada. And I'll remind you that Canada is one of the largest countries on the planet, one of the richest in natural resources on the planet. And finally, maybe something you don't know, that the longest demilitarized border on the planet between the United States and Canada, and we're talking the Great Lakes are demilitarized, the land demilitarized, and of course, really, really wonderful relationships. And we've both enjoyed a significant peace dividend for like a long, long time. But here we are having to iron out some trade problems here between the United States and Canada. Today's long form video that I do have live on my channel, and if you are a subscriber, it has been sent right to you already, dealing specifically with the ongoing negotiations. August 1st is the trigger date. Yes, I have an alarm clock up there saying that time is ticking, that the August 1st trigger date is very, very real, and it's going to trigger 35% tariffs on Canada. Now, to Canada's defense, you'll know that the United States has kind of negotiated themselves into this trade problem to begin with. And the fact is that what the United States rhetoric has been is, hey, we want more access to Canadian markets. What do you mean by more access to Canadian markets? Well, we want U.S. products being sold in Canada. And my belief is we're talking about digital products quite a bit. Obviously, that is a huge, huge area of interest for the United States. And of course, when you talk about the big 7 technology firms, well, we know that they have a considerable amount of clout. So it's really worthy of checking out. And with that, I'm going to go ahead. There's the volume. Of you that are here already, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, because I want to make sure you do hear my message here today, because it really is a super important message here about Canadian trade relations and, of course, the looming, and I do mean looming, tariff showdown with the United States in Canada. Glad to grab a coffee with you today. It's phenomenal. So we can go ahead and talk about a few other aspects of the Canadian trade issues. It goes beyond that. And of course, part of the issue here is, well, you've got the President of the United States, who is known for his rhetoric, and that's, of course, Donald J. Trump. He has thrown out enough stuff over the years, and he kind of throws stuff out to see if it sticks against a wall. Maybe sometimes you call that the 24-hour rule, that the president will kick something on out, and whether or not that sticks is the real story. And I think what the president's always trying to do is keep himself inside of the headlines. That's what you would say about his approach to economics and, of course, the political sphere. But in all reality, we'd also have to say that the President of the United States is constantly, in some way, shape, or form, negotiating, right? Remember, he's the guy who writes the book called The Art of the Deal. And the fact is that I think through the rhetoric, through constantly being in the headlines, he's constantly, in some way, shape, or form, negotiating. I want to remind every single one of you, if you drop comments in the chat, I do respond to those. And of course, I only respond to appropriate comments here. So once again, if you are liked and subscribed, you already got my long form. You already got my short sent to you today. And oh, there we go. Martial arts, Oscar Martial Arts. How are you doing, Oscar? Martial arts. I'm curious what martial arts you're practicing. Is it jiu-jitsu? Is it karate? Is it something different? Is it an MMA? So I'm curious where you guys are coming from. Courtney, glad to see you here. Welcome to the Economic Report. You are amazing. Thank you for joining us. And once again, folks, MMA, dude, that is flipping amazing. So with that, MMA is super cool because it's a combination of boxing and kickboxing and maybe a bit of wrestling in there as well. And maybe, just maybe, you were the type of person who may have wrestled in high school while you were there or in a youth program. The fact of the matter is the phenomenal foundation for MMA because nobody knows how to roll on the mat, right? That's part of what it's all about. But hey, folks, I'm glad that you're all joining me here today. Once again, I'm Brian at the Economics Report. Make sure you have liked and subscribed to this channel. Today, those people who've subscribed have already received a long-form video, yes, sent directly to them. They've also received a short sent directly to them. And so I want to make sure that you know that you do have the ability to take a bigger role here in these lives. Today, of course, the main theme deals with the United States relationships with Canada. Great stuff here. But I also throw out the point that this is the live show, and so I do respond to other news stories here. If you throw them on out there, just keep things appropriate and make sure you have liked and subscribed. That is huge. Anyone else here, go ahead. If you think there's somebody else that should be involved in this live, go ahead and invite them. You don't need my personal invitation, but I'm here to say, go ahead and invite others to attend. We'd love to have a number of people here inside of these lives. If I don't get any kind of direction from you folks here at the live, I'm going to go ahead and talk about earnings reports real quick because, hey, remember, the theme of this channel is where Main Street hits DC politics and Wall Street economics, and that's really a big piece of this channel. So I can go ahead and check about 3 earnings reports that came out today. And whether you're in the market or maybe you're not curious about the market, maybe I can help build a little bit of interest because there's 3 companies that already reported earnings today. How many of you have heard of Coca-Cola? Does anybody know what the ticker symbol of Coca-Cola is? Go ahead, fire it up. Anybody know the ticker symbol for Coca-Cola? All right, folks, you would be saying it is KO for Coca-Cola. The next one is Lockheed Martin. Does anybody even know what Lockheed Martin does? Well, if you said it's a defense contractor, you are 100% right. The ticker symbol is LMT for Lockheed Martin. It's another one that's worth putting on your radar screen because, once again, we're about kind of connecting people to the financial markets and, of course, what drives the news cycle. Hold on, I've got another hello here. Masail, good to see you. Good to hear from you. Welcome to the Economic Report. Masail, I hope you, like everyone else, have liked and subscribed. That means you are awesome. And with that, the third company that... All right, and a good day to you, my friend. If we could, the third company that reported economics earnings, their earning report today was none other than GM, standing for, you guessed it, General Motors. So with that, you've got a pretty good line of information rolling in here. Now, what we really should do is see how the market responded to all 3 of those stocks that reported earnings today, and maybe, just maybe, they're driving stories right in your own neighborhood, maybe in your 401k plan, maybe in your pension, maybe in your Roth IRA, or maybe, just maybe, it's affecting some other aspect of the economy that you are some way, shape, or form connected to, because I want to remind you that everybody in some way, shape, or form is connected to what happens on Wall Street. I can't emphasize that enough because economics, I'm telling you folks, tends to drive almost every aspect of politics, most definitely tends to drive every aspect of history. That much I can tell you for a fact. So let's go ahead and check out those numbers here. And folks, once again, I respond to all your comments made in chat. And if you are liked and subscribed, you'll receive my content directly to your inbox. Let's go ahead. The second one I've not heard of before. Michelle, do me a favor. Go ahead and check out LMT. That is a ticker symbol for Lockheed Martin. Check it out. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It is a defense contractor. And I'm not sure if they are the ones who make the Patriot missile or not, but it might be. And of course, if that makes the Patriot missile, maybe it's Raytheon that makes the Patriot missile. But let's go ahead and check out those earnings reports because I think you might find a little bit of interest there. LMT stock. Let's go ahead. Oh, goodness sakes, folks. It was up at $427.91. Lockheed is down 7%. So they must have had a little bit of a warning inside of their earnings, or their earnings disappointed. So what happened is, hey, if they would have met above expectations, or their future guidance for that company would have really been positive, well, the earnings would have gone way up, and of course the stock would have responded appropriately, right? But evidently Wall Street did not like what they heard from Lockheed Martin, and a 7% drop. Well, that's pretty significant. Let's go ahead and check out the other ones we've talked about. I think we talked about Coca-Cola, and you know what's kind of interesting things about Coca-Cola? Well, right away, of course, we think a Coca-Cola is exactly that, a can of pop. But I'm here to say that Coca-Cola has their fingers into all different types of soft drinks. And not just Coke, not just Sprite, not just some of these other things, but they're also into things like Minute Maid orange juice, for instance. They're also into bottled water. I think Coca-Cola is the #1 seller of bottled water. And so those are the things you want to pay attention to as well. Let's go ahead and check out how Coca-Cola's earnings went today. All right, so they're down 1.24%, but they're currently trading at like $69.27 per share. So it's something that's worth following once again. So you can put KO as in Coca-Cola on your radar screen. The third and final of these earnings. Okay, I'll even poll the audience here. General Motors. Yes, they are at least one point in time used to be the #1 automaker inside of the United States. And I'm here to say that at one point in time, the car industry drove America, right? Because steel makers made cars, rubber producers made cars, and of course, all the ancillary businesses made cars. And so that is the old economy. And of course, over the past 30, 40 years, we've been transitioning to a new economy. So does anybody want to take a guess? Give me a thumbs up if you think GM's earnings were up, or do you think that their stock is down today? I'm curious what you're going to say here. If anybody's making responses in the chat, go ahead. I'm curious to see a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And while we're throwing that out there, I want to remind you, dear folks, that once again, make sure you are liked and subscribed to this channel, because I can provide information right to your inbox on a regular basis. And we're talking about daily long video updates on the news cycle. And of course, the other one here is, well, let's face it, we're talking about shorts, and we're talking about things that tie into the economics. Okay, Michelle is saying, holy smokes, my guess is the inventory is high, so it's going to look down. Well, let's go ahead and take a look here, Michelle. You could be right. Down 7%, pal. So without a doubt, you are right on the money. And with that, we know that General Motors, once again, well, but it's gotta be a down day on the markets. So I want to remind you of something else here that I think you'll find interesting. And it's the fact that if there's a really couple crappy reports from stocks on Wall Street, it kind of affects market sentiment. And what we're saying is, if you influence market sentiment, well, then you all of a sudden are saying, well, that it appears as though that it's going to be a down day on the market. And then you could say, because of Lockheed down 7%, because of GM, another manufacturer, down 7%. And of course, a company like Coca-Cola, purely a defensive play, is down a little bit as well. Does anybody here want me to check gold or silver prices, or does anybody want me to check any of the cryptos that are on fire right now? Because I can take a couple minutes here as we're starting to get towards the, well, towards the later stages of the show. Does anybody want to see crypto? Does anybody want to see a report on gold and silver, how they are performing today? Because those have been great themes here. I'm curious about gold. Okay. So, Ms. Sale, I'm going to go ahead and say this to you, that gold is always a good one to check out. Go ahead and we can check this out at a place called kitco.com. What is Kitco? Well, I'm glad you asked. Kitco is a trading market, and whoa, can you believe it? Gold has breached $3,414 per ounce. That's significant, folks. The fact is that it was up to 34.20 at one point in time, so it's off a little bit from its high, but still up another 18 bucks today. That's no joke. And so now the gold's up. I'm going to throw this out there to you. You're really, really smart to check out silver as well, because gold moved up, what, 0.5% today to 34.14. Let's talk about percentage gains, because I think it's another interesting thing for us to explore on this channel. So I'll go ahead and go to Kitco once again. And what I will say here about silver, let's check it out. Silver, okay, it's down 6 cents, but it's still near its high. This is one thing, if you are living inside of the United States, sorry if you're other places throughout the Anglosphere, whether you're in Canada, Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, I can say if you're inside of the United States, this is a trend to follow. It changed back if you still do a dollar KITCO, yes, sir. That's Miss Sale. That is exactly what we're talking about. That is a market that trades gold and silver product. So if you once again are here and you are getting change back, it never hurts to look into your change and check it out and look for dates, right? So silver was used in all U.S. currency at one point in time. Now, it's not been used for, like, seriously, like 50 years in currency. So it's worth checking it out. You may be in your best interest to look for coins that are from 1964 and back, because they'll have the face value, say a silver, a $50, a Kennedy $50 made in 1963. Well, it might be worth 50 cents if you go to spend it, but if you look at the silver value for that coin, that silver Kennedy $50 is worth somewhere around like $6 right now, which is kind of crazy. So you have the ACV, actual cash value, and then of course you have the melt value. If there's coins that have a certain amount of silver in them, so it's worth following. Derek, dirt is more valuable than gold. Well, if you have the right dirt, Derek, maybe it's a rare earth mineral, and that's what we're talking about. And of course, Derek, you're not completely wrong, and I'll throw one other thing out there to you. It depends on what you're growing in that dirt, because I will remind you that oftentimes stuff that's grown from something simple like dirt could yield a tremendous value, right? If you look at the beginning of the English colonies here, like, no question about it, tobacco was the #1 cash crop inside of the English colonies at the very beginning, and that was, well, America's original cash crop. Derek, I'm going to go ahead here. Nope, the ability to grow food makes it more valuable. Well, amen to that, Derek. Derek, I'm curious, are you growing any kind of foods whatsoever? Ginseng, worth more than gold, takes 14 years to grow. Yeah, you know what? I guess, Daniel, that's a crazy growth cycle. Boy, I'm glad you guys joined me today, because those are some really important insights here that I think people kind of overlook quite a bit. Flour yields more than some vegetables. Just food for my family, not for profit. Well, hey, God bless you, man. Derek, I'm going to say that I went ahead and I grew peppers. They're on my porch right now. Not a big plot of them. Once again, just kind of a big round pot of peppers. I've got another one of tomatoes, just little cherry tomatoes. And of course, a third thing I'm growing is carrots. And Derek, Michael, do either one of you guys know anything about pulling carrots? Because I do have a question that I could ask out to you as well. Maybe you can give me an insight here. I don't know when to harvest those, right? If you're looking at the carrots, they look a little bit purple, but if you brush them away a little bit, they're tending to look orange a little bit deeper down. Any of you have any kind of insights? I'd be curious to hear what you have to say here. But boy, I'm really excited that you're here, and I'm really thankful for your insights you provided. And with that, we are getting to the point where we have to start winding down the show. I hate to do it, but goodness sakes, it's been a wonderful episode here at the Economic Report, and I'm so thankful for the insights you're providing, your comments in chat. I guess owning property is like owning valuable dirt. Well, quite possibly. And Misael, of course, underneath that, you've got one thing after another here, right? Depending on even where you own dirt, because obviously in places like this, I will throw out to you that well, there's mineral value of the dirt as well. Michelle, you are amazing. And Derek says, just occupy the dirt. Well, you may have something to say there. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I love the interaction we've had today. And with that, make sure you've liked and subscribed to this channel so I can catch up with you tomorrow. I will have a long form video. I will have a short video for you. And I'll throw this out to you. Is there anything of interest to you that you would want to see in that video? Maybe I can put something together special for you that really meets you and your needs here. You can keep carrots growing into winter with a plastic wooden box and plastic top. Hey, Daniel, thank you. What an amazing insight. You are amazing. And boy, I'll tell you what, all of your insights today have been wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And folks, if I can remind you of the things, I try to close down the show with a couple little thoughts here. I want to remind you folks that the biggest battle we fight is the one between our ears over our thoughts, our actions, and our everyday clarity about the things that are important in life. And the one thing I can say to you that's really important is taking care of your health, because your health drives every single aspect of your daily operations. Good sleep, good diet, good exercise can take you to some wonderful places. Hey, thanks for joining me for the Economic Report. Once again, this is Brian here, and if you're liked and subscribed, I can continue to make contact with you. You guys have been absolutely wonderful today. Thank you for being part of the show. Have a great day.